What's going on, guys? One love out to everybody. UFC 263, Adesanya versus Vettori Part 2. Pretty good card, stat card actually. Before I start, you guys hit that subscription button. Also, sign up for my Patreon account, which I'll leave the link down below, because on my Patreon account, I'm going to be leaving all the face-off predictions and a bunch of combination plays. Alright? Let's get started. This card is a very stacked card. A lot of rematches we have here. Figueiredo, Moreno is a rematch. Also, Eryk and Darren Stewart, that's a non-contest there. But Anders was clearly winning that fight. Illegal knee, right? So, yep, it's a pretty awesome card, man. Let's get started. First fight here, we got Corrales, Felipe versus Jay Collar. Felipe here, he's a durable guy, heavy hitter, going to have the speed advantage on him, moves in and out, kind of light on the feet, but he can get taken down though, right? And when he get taken down, you can control him on the ground, but he will try to get back up. But overall, man, his stand up, his hands are pretty quick. His in and out movement, his head movement is, is pretty good, man. It's okay, right? His opponent here, Jay Collar. Remember Jay Collar from way back, he used to be a 185er. Now he's at 20, no, actually, hold on. Yeah, he was a 185er and a 205er. Now he's at heavyweight now, right? Let me see, he took 3 years off. Last time he fought was 2017, really. But then, I mean, he came back in 2020, but he hasn't fought in a little while, and he fought back in 2020. One over game Valente. He's a heavy hitter too, he's a slugger. He will brawl in there with you. He's going to have the 3-inch of height and 3-inch of reach advantage. And he's not too durable. The more durable guy here is Felipe, and the quicker fighter is Felipe. So this fight here, man, is two heavy guys. When you're dealing with heavyweight matches, man, anything can happen, man. Nothing guaranteed. There's no confident pick here, man. But I'm going to go with Felipe for the win. And I'm going to say Felipe by KO TKO guy. And definitely, I'm not confident. All right. Next matchup here. We have Ziam versus Luigi Vendramini. Yeah, hopefully I pronounced that right. Ziam here, he's going to have a 5-inch of height and 2-inch of reach. Striking base, more kickboxing, Muay Thai kind of vibe going there, knees, elbows. I mean, he's pretty quick and he fights long, but he can get taken down. And once he gets taken down, eventually he starts to slow down in the fight, right? I felt he lost his last fight there, man. I mean, against Jamie Mullarkey. Jamie Mullarkey clearly won that fight. And by unanimous decision, man, that fight should have been a split for Jamie at least. Jamie, I believe, won the second and third round, man. I mean, like I always say, guys, you have the fight here, and you have the guys and come in and they're prepared to fight. But if it goes to decision, man, judges can do whatever they want. So you have to deal with the judges also. So it's not just if the guy is a good striker. Yes, I mean, that plays a factor. But then if he doesn't finish the fight and it goes to a judges, and it's very, very close, they can let that fight go anywhere they want to go, right? Whoever they want to win, all right? Whoever they got the bets on. All right, so yeah, so Ziam is a long, lengthy guy, striking base there, but can get taken down, man. Against Luigi here, Luigi counter strikes. He's pretty well rounded, actually more well rounded than Ziam, I would say. He will look for the finishes, man. All his fights is by finishes, right? There's no decision for this guy. He's pretty much even, I believe 5 by KO TKO and I believe 4 by submission. So he's a pretty well-rounded guy, man, let me see here. Took a tough fight there against the Santos, which in the first round he almost submitted the Santos in the first round. So this guy comes to finish. See, 5 by KO, 4 by submission. So 0 decisions, man. Ziam gonna have the reach advantage, obviously, in the height. Again, face-offs are very good. So whenever I look at the face-off, watch the face-offs, I'm going to leave it on my Patreon account so you guys can check that out. But the face-offs are very important, man, the weigh-ins. You can see if the guy make weight or not, which I believe it should be going on now. Like I said, guys, I'm a little bit slow on these predictions and breakdown because I was doing the Bellator card also, so, and I have other things to do also. So, like I said, support the Patreon. It will make things go quicker. Be easy for me to get all these fights out. All right. Luigi here, like I said, he's going to counter strike in this fight. He can take this fight to the ground. I believe he's a BJJ black belt. Yes, he is. So this is going to be a bigger cage. This is not the small cage. It's going to be the bigger cage now, so there's a lot more room to move around. But Ziam could win this fight, and I'm not confident with this one because of his reach and height. But man, Ziam can get taken down, and I felt he lost his last fight, man. So I'm gonna go with Luigi for the win here, and I'm gonna say Luigi by submission, guys, and I'm not confident. All right. Next matchup here, we have let me see here. We got Steven Peterson versus Chase Hooper. I was kind of back and forward with this fight, man. I went to Peterson, then I went Hooper, and then after I watched some more footages, I'm like, oh man, Hooper striking is still in the works. You know, like I said, all these guys, man, are in the works. You know, some are better than some are more well-rounded, some have better ground game, not the best striking, but they're trying to get better. You know, like I said, I'm not here to beat on none of these guys. It's all positive vibes, man. At the end of the day, it's all love. All these guys deserve to be in here. They put their health on the line. The health is your wealth. It's a dangerous sport, so hats off to all these guys, man. Steven Peterson here, he is well-rounded, very experienced, gonna be the more experienced guy here, but he takes a lot of damage, though. He takes a lot of damage, man. I mean, he moves his head from time to time, but like I said, he kind of sits down in front of you, right? Doesn't really move his foot too much. He can get easily taken down too because he's stationary. So to fake a punch or to fake a move and go for a double single is kind of easy in this guy, right? He has submission games, though. I think he has more submissions than KOTKOs. His last submission was 217. Like I said, he's a little bit slower in the movement. He's kind of flat-footed, kind of sit in front of you. But he's well-rounded, though. And let me see here. You know, and he has striking. He'll move straight forward at you, though. He doesn't really cut much angles, man. He just come kind of straight forward. His opponent here, Hooper is gonna have basically the ground game, man. I mean, Hooper is striking, like I said, it needs work. The timing, his movement, his head movement, his distance and range. He doesn't know how to set it up properly yet. Like I said, as a young kid, 21, he's just learning. He's a BJJ black belt, though. He's going to have the 3-inch of height and the 5-inch of reach, which is massive. But then, I mean, he's going to want to take this fight to the ground. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that is where he shines, right? Like I said, he's still working on the striking. He's hittable because he doesn't... I mean, he moves in and out, but he doesn't know how to do it at that level as yet. I'm just being honest. I'm not saying he's not good at what he does. Like I said, all these guys deserve to be in here, but a lot of these guys are maybe lacking one discipline and good at the other one. So they have to make that discipline work for them. And later on, he can catch up, you know. His ground is where he shines. He will definitely look for the submission, definitely. And his last submission was in 2020 against Barrett. I mean, he got that heel hook and point. Like I said, all these guys deserve to be here. You know, his striking may not be the best, but if he rolls for your ankle or your knee, most likely he's gonna pull off the submission, man. All right. The reason why I went back and forward so much because the striking from Hooper is like it's kind of, you know, he doesn't know how to the timing and the range. He doesn't know how to do it properly as yet. But then look at Peterson. Peterson is kind of flat. Peterson doesn't really bounce on his feet laterally, blitz in, blitz out. It's not really quick like that. So if Peterson throws some punches, Hooper can just duck under and take him down. It all depends on who's better on the ground, though. That's the thing, called. If you look at Peterson's ground game, he has a ground game, but his last submission was 217. But Hooper has that height and reach in him. Once he hit the ground, I mean, you just never know what's going to happen, man. This could be similar to the Levine and that last fight there. Levine and... is it Levine? I mean, Levette. Is it Levette? Yeah, Levette and Pula's fight. I mean, that could be similar to that one. I thought that Livette would be probably better on the ground, but that wasn't the case. Pulis got down there and then showed that he's better wrestler and better scrambling. Actually, Pulis was stronger in that fight too. He was physically stronger. And there's more experience from Pulis too. So for this fight here, I'm going to go with Hooper, just speed advantage, and Peterson is going to be easy to take down. If you notice, most of the guys that fight Hooper, they're kind of on their back foot, lateral circling around. Same thing with Alex Caceres. Those guys are moving. They're moving because if Hooper lock up a submission, then that's going to be it. Once he gets you down, then that's it. You know what I mean? But like I said, Peterson has a ground game. But, I mean, we'll see what happens, though. It could go either way. But I'm not confident in this one. And I'm going to say Chase Hooper by submission, guys. All right. Next fight here. We have Matt Frevola versus Terrance McKinney. I believe McKinney going to be short notice. We're supposed to be Franco Macho. Frevola, wrestling base. Very heavy-handed guy. BJJ brown belt. I feel like he's more experienced though. McKinney's coming off of the he came off the Contender Series, but I believe he got knocked out in the Contender Series, flying knee by Sean Woodson. Then lost to Darren Menor, MCF by triangle choke. Then he's been on a 3-fight winning streak here in the LFA. Man, the thing about McKinney, he's gonna have a 3-inch reach advantage, but he's a first-round finisher though. All his fights are basically done in the first round, and if he can't finish you in the first round, most likely he could lose the fight. He gasses out easily. Striking still in the works. Chin is kind of high. He will look for the submission, but he gasses out, man. So if he can't finish you in the first round, and this fight goes in the second, you can count on Matt Frevola to push this fight all the way. Matt Frevola has good endurance, man. And look at McKinney. McKinney will probably give up. Yeah, it's a short notice, but he's been active though. So he's been fighting. His last fight was in June. Actually, yeah, it's recently, June 4th, right? Yeah. So I mean, like I said, man, it's one of those things where short notice, endurance wise, he has to finish a fight. Like on the first round first, he has to finish his fight in the first round. He's like a blitzer, and if he passes the first, like what happened with Sean Woodson, he's gonna get tired. And if the guy is throwing punches at him and pressuring him, which Matt Frevola is gonna pressure him, man. Matt Frevola gonna put that pressure on him. I can see Matt Frevola winning this fight. So I'm gonna go Matt Frevola by KO TKO, and that's a confident pick, guys. All right. Next fight here, we got Pannie Kianzad versus Alex Davis. I know I probably mispronounced that too. Pannie here, she's actually improved. Her striking and ground game has gotten better, right, since her loss to Julia Vela and Macy Chasen. She moves around, pop that jab, but she can still get taken down though. Even though she has improved, she can still get taken down depending on who she's fighting, right? Like I said, she has improved since her losses are against Macy and Julia. You can see a 3-fight winning streak. Against Alexis Davis though, Alexis Davis is very well rounded, BJJ black belt. Her striking is, there. She will let the hands go, kind of straightforward. Her footwork can get flat at times, but she does move around a little bit. But she takes a lot of freaking damage though. Like she takes damage to give damage. Like takes a lot of hits, man. But she keep coming forward. It's like a robot, right? She will come forward. She will grind. She will look for the takedown. I mean, she's a banger, man. I mean, her last fight was actually her last finish, I should say, was in 215. That's when she got a submission. So she hasn't really, 3-fight losing streak. She beat Sabina Mazo, who is supposed to be a good striker. Lenti had a mad hide and reach, and she just dominated that fight by takedowns and ground and pounding. Just basically, she just outpointed her. She used her strength, which is her Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and her takedowns. So that's going to be her strength there. In this fight here, though, man, I mean, Kianzad is... I mean, she could win this fight by sending her outside throwing jabs here and there, but from what I see from Mazo and how she beat Mazo, I don't think Kianzad can keep up that intensity, that pressure of striking. I mean, against Eubanks and Betch Guerrero, yeah, Jessica Roseclug, yeah, but Alexa Davis is going to walk through her. So I like Alexa Davis for this. She's just going to walk her down. Or unless Kianzad submit her or hurt her, I mean, I can't really see she winning this fight. I'm more see Davis pulling off the win here. So I'm going to go Davis by decision, and I'm not confident in this one. All right. Next fight up here, we have Hakeem Dawodu versus Movsar Evloev. Hakeem is a pretty good fighter, man. His striking is pretty accurate, dude. Heavy leg kicks, punches, his technique is pretty good. He can get flat-footed in front of you, though, but he does move around, though. He gets flat-footed when he's going to, like, freaking blast you with leg kicks or trying to counter. He looks to counter you, man. He can get taken down, though, but his takedown defense is getting better from what I've seen from this fight, right? He's in a good fight-winning streak here. He's in a 5-fight winning streak. And a good fight against Zabara. That's a fight where, you know, I guess he was supposed to lose that fight, but he came in there and pulled off the window. He has some good wins, man. Against Evloev, though, Evloev's gonna have a strong wrestling base. He's well-rounded, and he will use his striking to set up his takedowns. This is a tricky fight here, man, because against Nick Lentz, there was points in that fight where, you know, he was losing. He was getting put in guillotines, but he pressured and then he got out of it, and he keep on grinding until he pulled off the win, which he did win the fight. It's a close fight. So Evloev is not going to give up or is not going to break under pressure. Hakeem is going to land some heavy leg kicks, though, man. So this is a fight where he has to be moving his legs in this fight, because Hakeem going to land some heavy leg kicks, man. And it doesn't take much, you know, to just destroy that calf, to just take that leg out. So we're going to see Evloev shooting for takedowns, man, like crazy. And his ground game is very elusive, man. Very, very elusive. So bigger cage, though. But I don't see Evloev going to stay there and strike with Dawodu. I don't really see him doing that. I mean, if I was coaching and game planning him, I would say use your striking to set up your takedowns. I must say Evloev, guys, but Hakeem could get a win here, man. If he's able to defend Evloev takedowns, he's gonna win, because his striking is pretty legit, man. It's pretty pinpoint accurate. Evloev striking is good too, but Hakeem, man, he's very accurate. The speed, he's very quick with the leg kicks, body kicks, his combinations, very, very fast. But this is gonna be a fight where Evloev has to game plan him, or Dawodu gonna have to stop the takedowns. So it's a very tricky fight here, guys. But I'm gonna go with Evloev for the win, and I'm gonna say Evloev by decision. And I'm not confident with this one, man, because this one can go either way. This is a very close fight. Next fight here, we got Lauren Murphy versus Joanne Calderwood. Lauren Murphy, she's pretty well rounded, man. She will look for the submissions. She's very durable. Push forward, heavy-handed, BJJ brown belt, actually. She's been looking good in all her fights lately. You know, her striking, nice jab, her combinations does not look bad, man. And her takedowns, she pressure you, she's very durable, and she got power in the punches, man. Calderwood here, striking base, but she will fade as the fight goes on, especially when you start putting pressure on her. She start breaking under pressure, man, and she can get taken down. So for those reasons, I have to go with Murphy for the win. It's all a mental thing, man. Mental, 90%. The other 10 is just the training. So if you're not mentally in there, you break under pressure, or you have any signs of breaking, you're going to end up losing the fight. And Murphy's not going to break under pressure. She's going to keep pushing. And she has the tools. She's very well-rounded to defend takedowns and strike. And she has a power. So I'm going to go with Lauren Murphy for the win for that one. I'm going to say Lauren Murphy by decision, guys. Next fight here, we got Eryk Anders versus Darren Stewart. Man, this fight, like I mentioned earlier there, is just going to be a repeat from their first fight, right? It was a non-contest. Eryk Anders was destroying Darren Stewart. I mean, his combinations, his speed. He looks like a prime Eryk Anders, like Eryk Anders from when he just started the UFC, when he just came in and he fought like Rafael Tano and Marcus Perez. He looks like that kind of Eryk Anders. Like, he looked the best, that he looked in that fight. That's actually the best I've seen him. You know what I'm saying? But then he threw that knee, and it was like illegal knee, and then Stewart couldn't continue. I mean, for to predict this I have to go with Anders, because I mean, if Anders comes in the same shape like he did the last fight, because his body, everything looked very, very in shape. Like I said, this is the best shape I've seen him in a long time. If he comes in that same exact shape, which the weigh-ins and the face-off is going to tell that, then Eryk Anders is going to pull this off. I mean, Darren Stewart can hit too, and he caught him a couple of times. He caught Anders a couple of times coming in, but nothing really. But when Anders started laying the hands on Stewart, man, it was like brutal, man. It's brutal, man. And Eryk Anders is pretty well rounded. He can stop takedowns. He can get takedowns to the ground. He look for submission. Just striking is pretty on point. And like I said, this is the best I've seen him when he fought Stewart. The best I've seen him in a long time. Darren Stewart is a heavy hitter. He can get taken down, but he gets wild, and that's the difference in this fight. When he starts to swing, you can see when he's swinging, his legs go along with it, like he kind of off balance. Like, he gets very wild. I think Eryk Anders is more composed. It's more technical. It's gonna be this. I'm gonna have to say the same, man. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a repeat from the first fight, or less Anders coming here in different shape, or he didn't train. That's the only difference. If he comes in here different, body looks different, and just mentally didn't prepare, obviously he could lose. I'm gonna go with Eryk Anders for the win, and I'm gonna say Eryk Anders by KO TKO. Just gonna be a repeat, guys. But I'm not confident though, because it depends on what shape he comes in, and the face-off and the weigh-ins will actually tell that. All right, so Anders by KO TKO. Next fight here, we got Dober versus Brad Riddell. Dober, pretty well-rounded guy, man, and he has improved. Man. Got a win over Nazareth Haparas, which is a good win. That's actually a very good win there, man. He had his striking. He's got well better too, man. His movement, his footwork, his boxing, his head movement. He look like he's been putting a lot of work on the striking. He has a wrestling base though. He's a very well-rounded guy. We'll look for the submissions. We'll look to knock you out. Either which way, man. His opponent here, Brad Riddell, good striking base too. Very technical guy. His ground has gotten better, but he can get taken down though. But he has gotten better though. From his last fight there against, it was Alexis Silva, he was getting taken down in that fight. And that fight is pretty close too, man. I wouldn't say it's an unanimous decision. I would probably say a split decision to Riddell. But like I said, it was a very close fight. This fight here, man, is going to come down to experience. And the striking from Dober, he's pretty decent striker, man. And Riddell is a pretty good striker. So I don't see Riddell maybe a little more experience with the striking, but it's not that far off, man. He's going to come to the ground game. Dober has more experience, man. So it's like I have to go with Dober for the win, because the striking is almost damn even. All right, and the ground game I give to Dober. So unless somebody gets caught, anything can happen in this game. Nothing is definite. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen, man. So it's unpredictable sometimes. Sometimes you're predicting these fights, and the outcome don't come the way you want it. And it goes to the judges, and the judges do whatever they want, man. But for this one, man, I'm going to go with Dober for the win. And I'm going to say Dober by submission, guys. All right? Oh, yeah, also with Dober, he lost his last fight there, but he was fighting Islam Makhachev. And Islam Makhachev is like a Khabib. As I said, there's levels to these games, man. And Islam Makhachev wrestling is on a completely different level than all these guys in this in this 155 weight class, man. It's on a different level. Like I said, it's like a Khabib wrestling, man. And you can see Dober's getting taken down until he got submitted, right? It's a different level, man, different level. And yeah, that's just what it is. He fought a very strong wrestler, grinding. That's good at doing wrestling, sambo. So, like I said, I like Dober though by submission. All right, next fight here, we got Paul Craig. Paul Craig versus Jamahal Hill. Actually, Paul Craig has improved too, man. A lot of these guys are improving, man. You know, he's actually, obviously, submission is going to be his game there. He has a ground game. He gets on the ground, most likely he can get the submission. Striking, like I said, it has gotten better, man. He's popping the jab, he's throwing, he's setting up the kicks with the punches, punching with the kicks. He showed some against Roy here. You know, and like I said, he will look for the submission still. If he gets you to the ground, he will submit you. But against Jamahal Hill, though, you know, Craig got a bit more experience there, but Jamahal Hill, you know, Jamahal Hill is showing that he got some mad power. His striking is on point. That once he gets you hurt, he's gonna try to finish you, and he's going for the kill. He's not gonna back up, right? Striking base is grown. It's there, but it still needs some work. So it's a kind of risky fight. If Craig can get him down, which Craig is gonna try to get him down, and I don't know if he may get him or might get him down, but it's possible. You know, Hill could be in problems, but he will still defend the takedowns though. Like I saw what he did with Ovens Pro. In a couple of the fights, he defended takedowns, but he can get taken down or depending on the guy that is fighting. And if it's Craig, Paul Craig, it's a possibility, man. He may get him down. But Jamahal Hill is striking is pretty good, man. And he fights long. And once he gets you hurt, he's going to try to finish you. He's light on his feet too, and he's very athletic, man. And he's fast. He's quick. He's quick at the movement. So a guy that's quick like this, I mean, Paul Craig gonna have to. Yeah, he's gonna try to have to hold him down against the cage, man, because Jamahal Hill's gonna keep on moving. He's gonna keep moving. So it's not like Jamahal Hill's gonna be standing there in front of him, just dragging his legs. He's gonna be moving. So it's difficult to take down a guy that's moving like this in a bigger cage too. So, like I said, anything is possible, and Craig could jump across and lock on a submission. You know what I mean? Like I said in the other fight there, why I pick Hooper over Peterson, because Peterson doesn't move his foot. And he's right there to get taken down easily. He'll move his feet and he's athletic, so it's kind of more difficult. And he doesn't gas out. So, and he got power in the punches, and his punches are accurate with his shots, man. Timing, his position, distance in the range is very accurate. Yeah, I mean, you've seen that when he fought Ovens Pro. He was hitting him from way out and then closing the distance on him and then continue hitting him. It's brutal. So, but I'm going to say Hill for this, and I'm going to say Hill by KOTQ, guys. Smaller cage, maybe differently, but this is going to be bigger cage, man. Makes a whole difference. Got a lot more room to move. Demian Maia versus Belal Muhammad. Demian Maia, BJJ black belt veteran, man. I mean, guy have over what? Has over what, 19 submissions or more, 20 submissions or more. But with Maia, man, I mean, he has slowed down, man. Even with his submission game from his last fight, he couldn't hold the submission. He couldn't hold you in that position to where he can lock on the submission, right? He has 14 by submission, but he'd been knocked out twice. And like I said, against Gilbert Burns, you see, he took down Gilbert Burns, but he couldn't hold him. But Gilbert Burns is a BJJ black belt also. But he wasn't able to hold, and you can tell his movements are kind of slower now, man. And like I said, age is a number, but he's moving slower. He's not moving in the head. His head not moving either, because Gilbert Burns threw overhand and just caught him one shot, and he went down. Like he was surprised when he got hit because he didn't see it coming. That means that his reaction time is not there no more. Belal Muhammad is a quick guy. He should be able to get the win here, man. He's well-rounded. Against when he fought Edwards, he got poked in the eye in the second round. Edwards was putting it on him, though. You know what I'm saying? He didn't look too good in that fight, but Edwards is a pretty good fighter, though, man. You know, like I said, there's levels to this game, but Demian Maia, you know what I'm saying, he's slowing down. You can tell his body is not the same. You know what I'm saying? And then he just got knocked out in the last fight. His body is not the same, man. And even the submissions, he's not able to hold it down like that. All right. I must say, I must say Muhammad for the win here. I think Muhammad can keep this fight on the outside, move around. He can land some shots. It could be a decision here, or it could be also a KO TKO. But I must say Muhammad by a KO TKO. Okay, and actually I'm gonna put that as a confident pick. So Muhammad by a KO TKO, and that's a confident pick, guys. All right. Next fight here. Leon Edwards versus Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz, man. I remember hanging out with Nate Diaz way back. I believe it was... Damn, it was way back hanging out with him, yo. Could have been 2009. After the Ultimate Fighter show. I think it was like... Yeah, I think it was like... Yeah, 2009, I think. Yeah, after the Ultimate Fighter show. I mean, he's a pretty cool dude, man. I mean, hang out for a little bit. Was it a club or something like that? So... I mean, there was a couple of us was hanging out, a couple of us from the gym, and then Nate Diaz was there. He's a cool guy, man. I mean, like I say, man, these guys, you know, come in here and fight. They put their health on the line. You know, I mean, I'm not here to disrespect any of these guys, man. Even if I pick Leon Edwards or whoever I pick, I'm not trying to say, oh man, Nate Diaz sucks, whatever. It's not that. I'm looking at the fight as an artistic kind of vibe, as saying, you know what I mean, like, what has Nate Diaz been doing? How did he look in his last fight? I'm not trying to put Nate Diaz down or anything like that. I'm just saying, you know, it's just like his last fight, he didn't look too good against Jorge Masvidal. The fight got stopped by a cut. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at Nate Diaz, I mean, BJJ black belt is pretty well rounded, and his hands, he keeps his hands going. He has that boxing where he throws punches in bunches, and he keeps it going, he keeps it flowing. You know what I mean? And he hasn't fought. The last time he fought, yeah, it was 2019. He took a little break there, but with Nate Diaz, he cuts easily, though, man. He cuts very easily, and he has a lot of scar tissue, man. A lot of scar tissue, man. I mean, it doesn't take much for him to get cut. And against Leon Edwards, man, I mean, Leon Edwards, I mean, just been winning. He's been looking good in all his fights. He's been looking good in all his fights. Went to split decision against Gunnar Nelson, but that shouldn't have been a split. That was, I mean, that's a unanimous decision, man. I mean, yeah, he just been looking good in all his fights. Vincent Lecue is a very tough guy. He kind of beat him too. You know what I mean? He only lost to Kamal Usman and some Claudio Silva. So it's a pretty good run, man. And if you look at Nate, yeah, I mean, Nate beat Conor McGregor and some other guys there, but I mean, you know, he took a lot of damage in his fight. Takes a lot of damage, man. And against the Jorge Masvidal fight, he took a lot of damage in that one too. And Edwards is going to have the speed advantage. He can stop takedowns. His striking is on friggin' point. I can just see him busting up Diaz's face again, man. And with a guy that's easily cut like that, it's difficult. It's difficult to pick him, because then he could lose a fight just on a cut, right? Leon Edwards here, I mean, he's well-rounded guy, man. Man is good in every department. Striking base. Hasn't been too active either. You know, only fought like last time was 2019, and then the 2021 fight he had, but he only went to the second round because of the eye poke. But in that fight, he was winning that fight against Belal Muhammad. He was putting the punches and kicks on him, man. He was dominating that fight. Yeah, man. This fight here, I would have to go with Edwards for the win, man. And it's like I said, I'm not disrespecting anybody. You know what I'm saying? When I make these predictions, it's not biased picks. I'm not gonna just pick Nate Diaz because, oh man, it's a cool guy, hang out with a cool guy. Because then, you know what I'm saying, it can't, there's a skill to this. You gotta see the guy's movements, the guy's technique, the speed advantage, how long they've been fighting, their body, their health. You know what I'm saying? Did they cut easily? Like, all these things plays a factor. It's not just because I hang out with him or he's my friend. So I'm gonna go with Edwards, man, and I'm gonna say Edwards by KO TKO, and it's a 5-5 round, man. It's a 5-round fight. I mean, Diaz got stopped, I believe, in the 3rd round. And he got stopped because of cut. I mean, if Leon lands some 1 or 2 solid shots and it connects to Nate, man, he is going to get cut. He is going to get cut open, man. Nate Diaz is going to have to stop Leon. You're going to have to knock him out or something with him. And the fight can't go to 5. He has to do this 1st or 2nd round. Once the fight prolong, keep going on, then he's going to favor Edwards. But again, anything can happen. Again, I could be wrong, man. I could be friggin' wrong and Nate Diaz win. Like I said, I'm not picking people on bias or because I like this guy, I like that guy. I'm just going off of what I see from my breakdowns, watching videos and everything like that, right? From my analyst work, okay? But I like Leon Edwards. I'm going to say Leon Edwards by KO. Next fight here, Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno. Friggin' this was a crazy fight, man. And I must start with Figueiredo. I mean, Figueiredo is well-rounded guy, man. He's quick at the movement, very powerful dude, very athletic, man. He reminds me of Jose Aldo, actually. But he will gas out, though. He will gas out, man. And, you know, sometimes he will go in there and just give it all he got. He's looking to finish you, and then he just kind of going crazy, man. It's like, oh, this is, you know, because he has the energy, he has the power. You know what I'm saying? He's very athletic, so sometimes he lets more out than he needs to. And he gets himself out. And a guy like Moreno, this guy's a pretty good fighter, man. And I feel like he's underrated. He's a very good fighter, like mentally wise and strategically. You know what I'm saying? He knows where to be and where not to be in that fight. He knows his movement. He knows his angles. It's like he's a good game planner. You can tell he's a smart fighter, man. You know, very technical striker. Right, and he will make adjustments in the fight. That's very important. So even if he's down or he may get hurt, he will make adjustments and come back. Like I say, he's a very smart fighter. His IQ is very good, man. Very good IQ. And he composed himself in the fight. You notice he composed himself. He may chill for a little bit in one round, come back the next other rounds, and then pull off the win. So he composed himself, and he has a good gas tank. From what I see in the fight, man, the first one, I thought Moreno won the fight, in my opinion. And yeah, Figueiredo is he looks, you know, by looks he looks like the more, I guess, scary guy. You know, just he looks more of the guy that's gonna go in there and just destroy Moreno. You know, I guess Moreno is like the nerd-looking guy. I guess I'm just talking how people would see it. I don't see it like that, but I'm just talking how it's, you know, how the society may see it. They look at Figueiredo as more muscular and just more dangerous guy, but I feel a more composed guy here, and he showed it in the first round. He showed it in the first fight. The more composed guy, the more technical guy, the guy with more well-roundedness to go for takedowns and strike, takedown, strike, and the guy with the smarter IQ, I would say, is Brandon Moreno, man. So I'm gonna go with Brandon Moreno for the win. I'm gonna say Moreno by decision, guy, and I'm not confident in this one because from the first fight. Remember, it's all in the judging system too, man. If this fight goes again very close, you never know what they're gonna do, man. You don't know what they're gonna do with it. They can do whatever they want. Depends on what parlay they have. All right. Main fight in the card here, guys. We got Israel Adesanya versus Marvin Vettori. Israel Adesanya, good striking, man. Pinpoint accurate counter striker, head movement, footwork. He has it all, man. Very accurate. His ground game, though, has gotten better. It has gotten better, but if you're judging him off his last fight here against Van Valkovic, you know, he's moving up to 205. That's not his weight. Weight does play a factor, man. Remember, I told you guys, weight play a factor when the guy has the weight and he's skilled. Valkovic is a very skilled guy. He's skilled and he has the weight. Adesanya is skilled too, but Valkovic is very experienced. Plus the bigger guy, and Adesanya, he's not a 205er, man. You can tell his frame, you can tell his bones are small, right? So even though he's tall and lanky, but his frame is small. So Valkovic physically is stronger in that fight, and you could tell there was a strength advantage, right? Vettori here. Vettori has a wrestling base, throws heavy. The rematch was very close though, man. And you can tell from the rematch that Adesanya has improved more. than Vettori did, right? If you look at Vettori's last fight, who he has fight after he fought Adesanya the first time, Kevin Holland, Jacob Mershman, Carl Robertson, Andrew Sanchez, and Cesar Ferreira. Jacob Mershman maybe, and Kevin Holland, but again, man, Kevin Holland is grown game. He can get taken down. He has BJJ black belt. He will submit you, but he's wrestling, I should say. Not his grown game, he's wrestling to defend the takedowns. He's just having a little problem with that, but I'm pretty sure he will get better. Because the guy seemed like, he will always improve. He has that improving mentality that he will go back to the camp and then work on his takedown defense. So, if you look at Israel now, fights that he had, he fought guys who were champions, right? After Vettori, Brad Torres, Derek Bronson, Anderson Silva, Kevin Gastelum, Robert Whittaker, he beat all those top guys in that 185, basically. The Ramirez or Whittakers. Anderson Silva is kind of past his prime. He's kind of, he's a little up there, I guess, if you want to say age, Kevin Gastelum, the Derek Bronson. So he beat the top guys, man. Then he moved up because there was basically no one else to fight. So, like I said, Izzy has improved, though. He has improved from the last time. So for this fight here, gonna be bigger cage. The fight with Vettori and Holland, even though Holland was getting taken down, you can see there's points in that fight. I think, I want to say the third and fourth round. If I'm not wrong, Kevin Holland actually hurt Vettori in that fight. Hit him a couple times, a couple shots in either the fourth or fifth round, most in the fifth. Like, look at Vettori he was hurt in that fight, but with Holland, he kind of, when he throws, he overcommits a lot, and he leaves himself open for what? A takedown. With Israel Adesanya, he's gonna pin him. He's gonna look for opening, pop and move away. He's not gonna throw his whole body into the tin. He's gonna counter. Or if he moves in, he's going to pop with the footwork, pop back out. He's not just going to go just swinging bombs, because then he'll get taken down. So he's going to be more strategic and look for the openings. And he's going to kind of be on the back foot, but he's going to be moving laterally. And he's going to look to counter in this fight. And if he see Vettori maybe hurt, then he will move in. Right? So it's just, I feel Israel Adesanya he has too many tools in this fight. He has a lot of tools. I'm not saying Vettori cannot win, but I'm gonna go with Israel Adesanya. Bigger cage, speed, timing, reach and height. Israel gonna have the mad height and reach in this fight. It's an 80-inch reach. Vettori got 7'4", so man, Israel gonna have the height, 6'4", 80-inch reach, 6 foot to 7'4". The first fight was close, but Israel has improved a lot. You can see Whittaker, all these guys here. You counter hook Whittaker. The Derek Bronson. People talk crap about Derek Bronson, but the guy wins fights, man. Like I said, all these guys deserve to be here, man. They put the work in, they train, some improve and some guys decline because that's part of the game, but all of them deserve to be there, and they put their life on the line. Their health is on the line here, man. It's just a dangerous sport, guys. Very dangerous sport, all right? Remember, your health is your wealth now, okay? I'm going to go with Israel Adesanya, and I'm going to say Israel Adesanya by KO TKO, and that's going to be a confident pick, guys, okay? Like I said, guys, I'm going to put face-off predictions in my Patreon account, so you guys can go over there and log on to that one. Also, I would do some small combination picks, like a 4 picks, 5, 6, and I could do a whole 14 again, just a whole different kind of picks. So you guys can go over there and check that out. I believe the face-offs are probably going on now, or they're probably passed already, but I'm going to go and knock that out. Like I said, I was working on the Bellator fight, so I wasn't able to get this one done. There's a lot of things going on, man. So I had to finish Bellator first. I also posted to my Patreon account the Bellator face-off picks too, and some combinations. But the fight's probably gonna start soon anyway. So yeah, man, let's see what happened here, guys. This is a 14 on the card. I mean, it doesn't look like anybody dropped off yet, so it's a good thing. So let's see what happens, man. Like I said, nothing guaranteed here, guys. I'm giving you my predictions. This is just my opinion. You guys do whatever you want to do with it, but make sure you do your own homework too, right? You can go by my picks, but make sure you do your own homework. And remember, I'm not telling you guys to go out there and bet and nothing like that. I'm not responsible for whatever you guys do. It's based on your own decision. It's your own brain. You can think for yourself. I have my own brain. I think and feel for myself too. So you guys can do the same. So you guys can see what I have here. Look at it. You can write it down. You can share it. And you can come up with your own picks too. You can match it with mine and say, oh, that don't sound right. You know, use your own brain. Think for yourself. Feel for yourself. I don't even look at the odds yet and nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going off of what I see from footages and fights from before. The guy's healthy, and then I'm going to watch the face-offs, and then I'm going to create some more picks on that. All right, so one love out to everybody. You guys keep on kicking. Give me the thumbs up, man. Need some thumbs up. Need some more subscribers. 1,000 thumbs up. I want at least 100 to 200 thumbs up. You know, at least 1,000 subscribers to start out with. And just support this channel, guys, and give me some love. Check out my Patreon account. Keep on kicking. And